Hello guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. Glad that you turned in. Hope that you like what we got today. Been doing a couple of country here the last couple of times. This is going back to the classic rock. So it's a good one by Bob Seger. Name of it's Fire Lake. It's off of the Against the Wind album. For y'all that are young, don't know what an album is, it's kind of like a CD on the record. And it's played on a record player. And for those of you who don't know what a record player is, that's like a CD player, only bigger. And they can scratch records and mess up your music, which y'all don't got to worry about that neither unless you take a CD out, use it for a frisbee. So, that in mind, let's tune into this song and see what we can do. It has 3 verses and 1 bridge, no choruses. The verses are super simple, same rhythm, follows each line all the way throughout the song. So once you learn the first line, you've learned 90% of the song. Everything except for the bridge. And the bridge is a little bit different. It's got a bunch of chords in it, but nothing that you can't handle, especially if you just take your time and do it. But it's fairly simple. So let's get started with it. Okay, now in the verses, there's only 3 chords. Now, there's a couple of ways to play this, and it's up to the individual what he feels comfortable with. But now what I use is an E bar chord, which is if you make the E, which is your middle finger on the first fret of your 3rd string, your index finger or your ring finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your little finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Now, that is an E. That happens to be one of the chords we're using in this. But the first chord starts off up to 5th, so you take this bar and put behind that E, and that is your A chord. So as the song goes, so that I don't confuse you, it starts off at A, E, F minor, which is you pick up your middle finger, so you have nothing going on with the middle finger, and you're barring the 2nd fret and the 5th and 4th on the 4th fret. So that's your F sharp minor. So now we go back to the start, which is A. Okay, now there's a walk up. So that's 2, 4, 5. You're back in the A. It does that twice before it starts singing, but nothing changes. So after that, when it starts into the singing, it goes through 2 complete verses, using nothing but the A, the E, the F sharp minor. So then it gets into the bridge, is what I'm going to call it. It's not a chorus, so it has to be a bridge. And when you end the very last verse, in an F sharp minor, well, not the last verse, but 2nd verse, when you end the 2nd verse, instead of going back up to the A, you go down to the E, then to a D. Your D is first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 1st string on the 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string. So that's where that starts. Then it goes to a C sharp minor, which you're barring everything on the 4th, and your middle finger's on the 2nd string on the 5th, and your ring finger is on the 6th fret of your 4th string, and your little finger's on the 6th fret of your 3rd string. Ain't that a pretty chord? So that it goes from your D to your C sharp minor, then it goes back up to F sharp minor, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, then you go back down to the C sharp minor. This is where it's going. I'll do the. It goes to a B minor, which is borrowing everything on the second and just sliding everything from your C sharp minor back down. So you have your middle finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, your index finger on the 4th fret of your the 4th string, and your little finger on the 4th fret of your 3rd string. And that is your B minor. Then it goes back to the D again. And then it goes to a, and then it goes to an E. Your D is the one I showed you. 1st finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Middle finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret. And your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string. Then it goes to an A, which is your 4th, 3, and 2 on the 2nd fret. Then it goes back up to the E, and then this is where it drives. Then it goes back in the next verse. So let's go over the entire bridge again. You start to the D. Who wants to breathe those bronze beauties? Back to C sharp minor, F sharp minor, lying in the sun. You go back to C sharp minor, long straight hair falling. B minor, flying as they run. He goes into a D. So well, they flirt so well. And they lay you down so fast. That's A. And then it goes into E. Look straight up at you. Now what I do is I go up to about the 9th fret, slide down, then come back to my A, start the final verse. Now the final verse has the typical 5 lines that they've had in the rest of the verses, but then it continues on for two more lines that he's ad-libbing and throwing different stuff in. So it's not the typical words that you heard at first. So that's the entire song. Now, as I was telling you about the verses. Now, the way I'm playing it with the bar chord, you don't have to play it like that, but I think it's a lot easier, especially if you're a beginner, so you don't have to change finger positions a lot. The only thing you're doing when you do that F sharp minor is you're picking up your middle finger. So that's the way, but now here's another way. You can go back to that standard A that I showed you, and you can play it this way. And it's A is your 4, 3, and 2 on your 2nd fret. Then you go to the E, you still got to get the same E that you had before. And then you still got to do a bar chord for F sharp minor. I don't know any other way around it. So you got to do that. Then the walk up, you can do it, like I said, if you're doing it with the open chords, you can just go 2nd, 4, open A, then you go into the A chord. A, F sharp minor. So that's another way to do it. Like I said, kind of like the way I do it. I like the way it flows. Sounds more like what is on the record, in my opinion. So with that in mind, like I said, that's the entire song in its entirety. And I love it. Like I said, it's one of the ones off Against the Wind. A lot of people put the Against the Wind on here. I may end up putting that on here as well, because I do like Bob Seger. Everybody does. He's one of those classics that his songs are so well written, they hold the test of time for the most part. You get Night Moves, Main Street, Old Time Rock and Roll, Against the Wind. Those songs are a part of classic rock history, and there's not too many people out there that once you hit the first couple of chords on any Bob Seger song that they're not going to know exactly what song you're playing. So with that in mind, let's give it a try and see what it sounds like. We're gonna ride that chrome three-wheeler. Who's gonna make the first mistake? We're gonna wear gypsy leather all the way to Fire Lake. Who wants to break the news about Uncle Joe? Remember Uncle Joe, he's the one afraid to cut the cake. Who wants to tell poor Aunt Sarah Joe's run off the Fire Lake? Joe's run off the Fire Lake. Who wants to brave those bronze beauties lying in the sun with their long soft hair falling, flying as they run? Oh, and they smile so good and they flirt so, and they lay down so fast, and they look up at you and they say, I'm really here now. Who's gonna play those eights and aces? Who's gonna play for me to stay? Who wants to take the long shot gamble, Lord? Headed out to Fire Lake. Headed out to Fire Lake. Headed out to Fire Lake. Well, there it is. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned to play it pretty fast. Like I said, it's an easy song as far as the verses go. You get into the chorus, there's not a lot of fast changes. The fact is that it does have chords that's probably going to be tough on the beginner, the sort of the intermediate, or the little bit better than novice can grab it with no problem and go at it. So, like I said, work on the timing and the verses first. Get that in. Anytime you've got something like that bridge, it's hard to do, and it's hard to do in a live situation. There's certain Skinner songs that does that, and it's kind of hard to keep that flow of it when you drop into that and then come back into your verses, which has a standard flow. So good luck with this. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would. Greatly appreciate it. And even comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Hopefully it was, like I said, hopefully it's educational to you, and hope you learn something from it. What I'd educate a lot of people that are, if you're a beginner, is don't concentrate on so much on learning the song. Learn the chords. Learn all your chords in the key of whatever, and make that a plan in your life to get that, and move yourself forward with learning the keys, different keys. A lot of people rely on the capo, learn the key of G, and then that's all they do. I think it's somewhere down the road that will bite you. Learning songs is good because it keeps you interested. If you can learn a song that you really like, that's going to help you more than anything, because it's going to allow you to do your chord changes and whatever. But as you're doing, say this for example, it is in the key of E. So if you learn all the chords in the key of E, this is just about got every one of them. So if you learn all of them, then that's going to help you on the next song in the key of E. So please give that a listen. Check it out. Learn your keys in the key of E. And like I said, I play it in the key of E. A lot of people on the interweb, they tend to move it up to and play it in the key of G. It's done on the record in the key of E. So let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Keep tuned. Got more stuff coming at you. Hopefully I have more Bob Seger to do this week. I want to get back to my roots, back to doing the old-time rock and roll. So keep tuned. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.